Welcome students to our Rosary online teaching. My name is Rupali Gaikwad and today I am going to teach you 6th ICSE Geography. My today's topic is about representation of geographical features. Now to represent the geographical features we need something because we cannot represent without anything. So we have globes and maps. So with the help of the globes and maps, we are able to represent all the geographical features. We can study about it. Now what is a globe? Globe is a spherical shape. It is a model of the earth. It is a model of the earth. And maps also, there are different types of maps through which we can do the further study, in detailed study. There are some advantages and some disadvantages of usage of globes and maps. So we'll just go through the slides and we'll try to understand what exactly it is. Now here first we will go to the globes. Globes. The globe is a small model of the earth. You must have seen earlier also the model of the earth or globe in different places. You must have seen on the Google, you must have seen in the school or different places you must have seen the globe. It's just a model of the earth. It is mounted on an axis so that it can be rotated freely just like an earth. If you see, there's an axis and there's mounted on an axis. So whenever you move the globe, you can easily move and you can search whatever you want to find, or if you want to search any country or any place, you can just search it by just sitting in one place and just by moving the globe. It helps us to study about the earth as a whole. It only shows continents, countries and oceans and cannot show details. It is just a marking. If you want to do a detailed study, you cannot do it with the help of the globe. So globe, everything can be seen there. The country marking can be seen, continents can be seen, but detail, if you want to know what is there inside India, that cannot be seen. For that detailed study, you have to refer the maps. It is difficult to carry around and handle a large globe. If the globe is a big globe, it's very difficult to carry easily and go anywhere. If I want to go anywhere from one place to another, instead of a map, I cannot carry globe because it is again it cannot be folded, and again it is very difficult to carry everywhere that particular globe. Now we are going to see the advantages and disadvantages of globe. Shows exact shape of the earth, spherical, slightly flattened at the poles and bulging at the equator. So if you see, it is in this way, and here little bit it will be flattened and little bit bulging, and in between there will be the equator line. There will be North Pole, South Pole, axis will be there where you can rotate the globe. The shape of the continents and oceans are shown accurately. So whatever the continents and the oceans are mentioned over there, marked over there, they are accurate. The different physical features are also marked more or less accurately, and remaining features are marked over there, the physical features, but they are not very much accurate. Little bit here and there it can be. Now disadvantage we are going to see of the globe. It is bulky and cannot be stored easily. So if I want to keep it in my bag, I cannot fold the globe and keep it in the bag. So it is bulky and cannot be stored easily. It cannot show the details of landforms and location of small towns. If I want to see the location, that is Pune city, if I want to see on the globe, I cannot see because Pune city is one of the cities in India. In India, only India will be seen, in that also in a small part. So it is very difficult to study more detail about any city or any town. It cannot provide detailed information about climate, vegetation, agriculture, etc. Although larger globes show more details, they are difficult to carry and handle. So again, if the globe, there are different sizes of globe also. Nowadays there are small globes also in different sizes. So again it becomes difficult to carry the larger globes. Now next we are going to see about the map. A drawing of the earth's surface, either whole or part of it on a flat surface, is called a map. So you must have seen the map maybe earlier, last year or before that. Your teacher must have shown you the map also, the folded one. She must have brought it and she must have displayed it on the blackboard, in front of the blackboard, and showed you the location where the different countries or different places is marked, or where is the continents and everything. So it is a flat surface. Details of various continents, countries, states, etc. can be put together to make a book of maps. So if you want to study, if you see an atlas book, in atlas book there are different kinds of maps which are compiled together and they have made one book, that is an atlas book. The maps in an atlas will usually contain more information than a globe. So in a globe you cannot do a detailed study, but in a map if you take an atlas you get a detailed study, you can go through it and just learn more about the different things. The maps can have more information and are easier to handle than globes. Carrying one book is easier than carrying a big globe. So always maps can have a more information and can be handled and can be carried easily anywhere. Now types of map. Now we have different types of map. Now in map we have physical map. In maps we have physical map. Then we have a political map. We have thematic map. So in the session we are going to study about the different types of maps. Okay, so we'll just go through it. First we'll see to the physical map. Physical maps, these are the maps which show the natural features on the Earth's surface like mountains, plateaus, plains, rivers and so on. So in case if you are studying about the mountains, plateaus, plains, rivers, that particular map in which you are studying these details, that particular map is called as a physical map, the physical features. So here there's an example here. You can see here it shows the landforms and the water bodies on the Earth's surface such as mountains, plateaus, plains, rivers, lakes, sea and etc. So there's a picture given there, the example is given there. That picture is about a physical map where mountains, plateaus, plains, rivers and lakes are marked on that map. Next is a political map. These maps shows boundaries of countries and of the states within the countries. They also show the locations of cities and towns. So political map all the political places. For example, if I want to study about the country, so I can take the country map, the political map where the marking will be there accordingly, where I will be immediately able to identify that which particular country is located where. If I take an India map, even in an India map, the different states also will be marked over there. You can see in the picture here it is a India map where different states are also marked with their names and the borders are also given. Shows the boundaries of administrative units such as country, state and district. Different types of boundary are shown with different symbols. So here whenever you are studying different maps and different things, whatever you want to study, as per that particular thing the symbol is given which makes you easier to understand. Now third one is about the thematic map. Maps can also show weather, conditions, types of soil, types of vegetation, the distribution of minerals and industries and various other things. A map which is based on a theme, topic is called a thematic map. So the name itself, thematic map, the name itself, theme, it is telling us it is a theme. So here it is thematic, it means it is something having a topic, some theme is given to it. The study about that topic is called as a thematic map. Again, one example of one map is given here, shows proposed and established Indian Institute of Technology in different parts of India. So where IIT, which we called it in a short form, it is also known as the Indian Institute of Technology, where it is located in different parts of country in India, it has been located over there. You can just see the markings over there where you will understand that this particular map is a thematic map where only we are studying on a specific topic and that topic is the learning about the Indian Institute of Technology. Now we are going to see about the difference between the map and globe. So what is the difference between the map and the globe? Now a map is a flat. It has flat, it can be rolled easily, so it is a flat. Globe is round in shape and spherical in shape. Map show the whole world or a part of it. A globe always shows the whole world. So globe always shows the whole world. If you want to see the whole world, you can just rotate it and see the other part also. But the map cannot show the whole world at one time. It can just show in a part way. A map can show more detailed information. So if you want to do a more detailed information, more information if you want, you can just select that particular map and get a more detailed information about it. While the globe cannot show the detailed information. Whatever the globe is there, it is a model of the earth. You can see everything together, and detailed information you have to refer to the map. Maps can be printed on paper, so they can be folded or rolled and can be carried around easily. So as I told you earlier also, the map is printed on the paper, it can be folded. If I want to carry the map in my purse also, I can fold it and keep it because it is in a form of a paper. And secondly, if the globe is there, globe immediately I cannot. I have to carry one separate bag, a big bag, then only I can carry the globe everywhere. Now, we are going to see the important features of the map. Every map is provided with some aids or tools to help you read it. There is a scale and some required symbols. Often there is a vertical N marked N at the top. You will now learn how they help you to read the maps. So if you have seen the map earlier, there's a marking given there where N is always marked at the top like this. It indicates it is a north side. Scale. If you look through your atlas, you will see maps of countries, continents, and even of the whole world. Thus, very large areas are shown on small sheet of paper. Do you know how this is done? It is done by making a small distance on paper represent a large distance on the ground. It is decided that a particular length on paper will show a particular distance on the ground. For example, let us consider two places which are 100 kilometers apart. If we say that 1 centimeter on the map stands for 50 kilometers, so 1 centimeter is standing for 50 kilometers on the ground. These two places would be 2 centimeter apart on the map. This relation of 1 centimeter on the map representing 50 kilometer on the ground is the scale of the map. Different maps have different scales. Now if you see on the map also the scale is given. In some maps it is given as a 1 centimeter is equal to 100 kilometer, 50 kilometer, 10 kilometer. Depends on the map which you are taking it. For example, if you are taking a world map in which the scale here will be more. If you are taking about a city or a town, in that case the centimeter will be, the unit will be different. So each and every map is having a different unit, the scale measurement. The scale of a map is generally shown by a graduated straight line of a particular length. The scale is generally drawn at the top or the bottom of a map. Sometimes the scale is not drawn. It is given in words. For example, 1 centimeter to 100 kilometer. This means that 1 centimeter on the map represents the 100 kilometer on the ground. So for example, if there is a marking over here, if it is over here like this, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. If I say 1 centimeter is equal to 100 kilometer. If this is the thing, in that case, what it is representing if I want to find? So this centimeter, 1 centimeter is equal to how much? 100 kilometer. This is 100. So this much is 200 kilometer. That is the calculation which is there. You can see over here in the slide also it is mentioned A and B is given there, where 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 it is written as a kilometer. And secondly, you can see down A and B. Here it is a different scale. It is 0, 2, 4, 6. So these are two different scales. Picture is given over here. That is a different scales. Small scale and large scale. Now in scales also we have small scale and large scale. So what is the difference? We are going to see that. Small scale maps like the ones generally found in an atlas shows large areas of the earth. They cannot show much detail. Large scale maps like tourist maps on the other hand show much smaller areas in a relatively large size paper. Naturally, they can show many more features of a particular place. The map of a town is drawn on a larger scale than that of a city. In the case of a village, the scale chosen is larger. Now here we have a small scale and a large scale. So what is the difference between a small scale and large scale? I will tell you. We have a small scale and a large scale. Now small scale map here, what it is given, small scale and large scale maps. Small scale maps are like the ones generally found in an atlas. So small scale maps are found in the atlas, shows large areas of the earth. For example, if I am writing an India map, India's map is there, which can be a small scale. The scale is small, but the information is more. How the information is more? It is about the country, about the atlas. They cannot show much detail. We cannot study more detail about any city or about any village in a small scale. Why? They cannot. Large scale maps are like tourist map. Now tourist map, in case if you are going to any place, for if you are going to Mahabaleshwar, that time you take a tourist map to see that visit a particular place. That is a large scale map. The scale is more. Small scale is having a small scale. The small scale means here the measurement is more. Here the measurement is small, where you will have a detailed information in a large scale. Now here, for example, if you go to a tourist place and if you take a tourist map, that is an example of a large scale map. So large scale map showing both man-made and natural features is called a topographic map. So that particular map is called as a topographic map. Such a map shows not only the water bodies, hills and woods, but also the roads, railway stations, bridges and etc. Now, for this session, what we have learned, we will just summarize once everything properly. In this session, we have learned first of all about the globes and maps. That is, what is a globe and what is a map. So, as globe is the model of the earth, it is round in shape, spherical in shape, and we have seen the advantages and the disadvantages of globe. Then we have seen about the map. There are three different types of maps which we have learned. That is a physical map we have learned. Then we have gone through the political map. Then we have seen about the thematic map. So we have learnt about the three types of map, and that three types of map we have seen the picture also about the maps, that how it is located, why physical is used, why political is used, and why thematic map is used. Then we have learnt about the scale. In scale also we have a small scale and the large scale. And we have seen that each and every map is having some unit mentioned. For example, 1 centimeter is equal to 100 kilometer, or 1 centimeter is equal to 10 kilometer. So as per the map which you are taking about a small scale or a large scale map, as per the map, the unit will differ from each and every map. So for your home assignment, you will just go through the chapter, read the chapter very much carefully and try to understand more about the globes and maps. So that your home assignment is read the lesson. Thank you very much.